my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Tatum drives down and throws it down. Wow!
To throw, rainbows it down the right side for Kyle Pitts. He's got it. He's there. Touchdown. Oh my!
Second episode of the week, and I'm hyped because this is our official 2021 mock draft. So, for presented by the Sports Bits. Yo, what up?
Presented by Sports Bits.
Presented by Sports Bits podcast. So quick rules about this mock draft. So the first thing is that we're not including trades. So we're not like predicting any trades or anything. We're going to go based off the order that is currently given by the lottery. So of course Detroit goes first, Houston second, Cleveland third, etc. Second thing, we're not assuming anything happens with any of these young guys. Like we're not assuming like injuries, or like we're going to assume that their best, ability or nothing weird happens. Like there's no like some random like arrest or warrant or something by like Jaylen.
Arrest.
Yeah, something weird. So we're assuming everything is at its best case scenario and there's no trades. A smooth draft. So
yeah, if we included trades, that would just be like
too much,
like a mess of everything.
And that means also we would have to predict the trades, and I don't really want to predict any trades. Like I want to keep it
we'd
simple.
Have to do like 7 different drafts.
Exactly.
I'm not about.
Exactly. So okay. So also how it's going to work. I'm going to take the odd number picks 1 through 15. You're going to, and then Reed's going to take the even numbers 2 through 14. So obviously, let's get this rolling. I'm going to take the number 1 pick from Detroit. And obviously, I'm taking Cade Cunningham. No brainer.
No surprise there.
Who else, am I supposed to take? Evan Mobley? I don't know what the Detroit wants to take, but I think Cade Cunningham is a perfect pick for Detroit. They need an insane ball handler, 3-level scorer. He's basically a big like package at 6'7", or 6 people list him sometimes at 6'8". He's a package of everything you could ever want from that type of guard at that size. So
absolutely,
he's crazy. He's like basically I could reference to like a Ben Simmons who can shoot. That's kind of what I've been saying. And like, look at it's way more mobile than Ben Simmons. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, he plays point guard at like a 6'8" frame. So like already he's got an advantage right there. And yeah, like you said, he does it pretty much everything. Good defender all around.
Point forward. I list him as a point forward. So Detroit takes Cade Cunningham. Let's move on to the number 2 pick.
All right. So for the number 2 pick, the Houston Rockets, I'm going to select Jaylen Green from the G League Ignite. So Jaylen Green, I think, it's kind of a toss up right now between Evan Mobley and Jaylen Green as who's going to go second, and maybe even Jalen Suggs. But I decided to go with Jaylen Green because he's got great athleticism. He's got a really great leaping ability. He's an elite shot creator, 3-level scorer. And he can kind of, create a lot of offense for himself. And I think that's one thing that the Rockets really need. They have Kevin Porter Jr. who creates his own shot, but pretty much beyond that, like guys like Jashawn Tate, DJ Augustine, and John Wall, they kind of can create their own offense, but especially John Wall is more of a point guard. He excels with that. So I think that having another guy who can kind of shoot, off the catch a little bit as well as create his own offense is going to be really good for Houston's 27th ranked offense for last season.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, big surprise for me. So I got the Cleveland's next pick. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to select Evan Mobley because obviously that's kind of the obvious pick. I honestly thought Evan Mobley's going to take number 2, but that's a big surprise. It falls to 3, so perfect for Cleveland. So my little notes on Cleveland, like I have set up as like what they need, like based on their depth. They obviously need forwards and centers because they're really low on that depth there. As long as Allen resigns, they're going to need a backup center, and I think Mobley's going to be a great backup center. Or they play him at power forward for his mobility and his his spacing on the floor is amazing in college, so hopefully he can translate. And not to mention, Kevin Love is old. They're going to need a replacement power forward. And I think Mobley developing under Kevin Love is great because they're both stretch 4s and stretch 5s even. It's going to be great. And then not to mention, they don't really need any guards. I think if they keep Garland and Sexton and keep their depth there, I think they're going to be solid there. And then they'll have Mobley bringing up the rear along with Jared Allen. So I think that's a solid pick. So Cleveland Cavaliers select Evan Mobley. Let's move on to the number 4 pick.
Evan Mobley from USC.
Yep, USC.
For USC. All right, so with the 4th pick of the 2021 NBA Sports Bits draft, we're gonna Toronto Raptors. I'm gonna pick Jalen Suggs. So Jalen Suggs played for Gonzaga. Pretty much a franchise floor general. Excellent passer, excellent playmaker. He can create his own offense, but he really shines in the playmaking role. I don't know if this is worth mentioning, but he was also a star quarterback in high school which kind of just shows that he's got the leadership quality and he has the ability to really just find his teammates on the floor and hit them for an open shot. He really pushes the pace on offense. And I think that the Raptors are definitely in need of that, especially if they're going to move Kyle Lowry this before the draft or, during the season. Kyle Lowry is easily their best playmaker, so they're definitely going to have to replace him. So I think Jalen Suggs is definitely going to be a solid pick for them. And that's who I'm going with.
All right. So let's move on to number 5, Orlando. So the Orlando Magic in this 2020 NBA mock draft by the Sports Bits will be selecting Scottie Barnes. So
okay,
a lot of people, I know this is an interesting pick, but I'm going to first list off Orlando's needs. They obviously need forwards. So obviously I think they have enough centers and plenty of centers with Carter and Bamba. And I think they need some depth behind Isaac. So I think, Scottie Barnes is a perfect pick for the Orlando Magic. I'm just going to say this, that Scottie Barnes was a lot lower on most people's draft boards until recently. And I think he's definitely stepped up, and a lot of people have seen his potential. And I think developing in Orlando with all the young guys down there is perfect for him. He's a terrific passer, defensive minded first. And I think that's going to be great having those two defensive minded forwards with Isaac and Scottie Barnes. And he's not a natural scorer, but I think he'll be able to develop that. And I think I'm going to go based off potential on his offense. So I think he's going to be perfect there. Potential as a playmaker and ball handler as well. So maybe if they want to back up Cole Anthony and Markelle Fultz and everything, I think they got great guards there. So I think they need more forward help. So that's why I'm drafting Scottie Barnes with the number 5 pick.
Yeah, it's a solid
out of Florida State, obviously.
I definitely agree with you. Scottie Barnes kind of slipped. I mean, he was lower on my board as well. But great defensive player. All right, so for the number 6 pick in our Sports Bits mock draft, the Thunder are going to select Davian Mitchell. He played for Baylor this past season. Yeah, so this one may come as a bit of a surprise.
He was way low on my draft board, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so let me explain, because he was a little bit low on some other people's draft, but I decided to take him at this pick, especially for the Thunder, because he's probably one of the best on-ball defenders in this draft right now, which, by the way, this draft has a lot of defensive talent just all across the board. We have a lot of good defensive guys. He plays much bigger than his 6'2" frame on defense, kind of similar to Drew Holiday. He's like strong and he's got good lower body strength, but he's a little bit small, but he definitely plays bigger. And he can pull up off the dribble or in the catch and shoot situation. And he also has a great work ethic and mentality, which I think is something off court that not a lot of people focus on. It's really important to have a good work ethic and a winning mentality, because then you're going to have that guy come in and he's going to push the other guys. Even though he's a rookie, he still has the potential to really, rub off on some of these other guys. And for me, he has an absolutely great defensive skill set, but he's also an incredible playmaker. And right now the Thunder are severely lacking in that. Pretty much their sole playmaker is SGA. And he's great, but they need, to take some of the playmaking duties away from him, or take that off of his shoulders. And I think Davian Mitchell is going to be a really great pick for them. So yeah, we're going with him at the number 6.
Interesting. Big reach by the Thunder. So okay, so we have Golden State via Minnesota from their pick. So they traded with Minnesota to get the number 7 pick. So with the number 7 pick in the 2021 NBA mock draft by Sports Bits, we are selecting this guy who fell a little too far, Jonathan Kuminga, out of the G League Ignite, teammate of Jaylen Green. This guy, amazingly gifted, and also he's proven himself in the G League. That's the one thing I think I like about Kuminga, is that he has experience in, like, I guess NBA caliber, I guess like basketball per se. Like, even though college is still a great experience, I think G League is definitely a step up from that. Obviously, G League experience, great defender and playmaker. The only reason why I didn't want to draft him earlier is because he needs to improve his jumper, is the only negative. His offense and his jumper is a little bit suspect at times, so he'll need to develop that. And obviously, Golden State, best place for shooters to develop. Like, look who they have on the roster. They obviously need power up and need forward depth. Yeah, they have shooters, and not to mention he is 6'8", perfect person to stick in there at the 3 or the 4, depending on where they play Klay Thompson next year. So he'll be able to develop with a lot of great shooters like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. So, and also not to mention, only reason why I'm drafting a forward is because Kelly Oubre is a free agent. They're probably not going to re-sign Kelly Oubre. And then not to mention their power forward spot is a little weak. They could run a little small ball with Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, obviously, because he's a great defender and he has that defensive-minded first mentality, I think, from what I've seen. So also a very low-key guy in the draft. So I'm going to draft Jonathan Kuminga at number 7.
Yeah, solid pick. It was for my number 6 pick, it was between Davian Mitchell and Jonathan Kuminga. So yeah, that guy, he definitely slipped a little bit lower. But so for the number 8th pick, we got Orlando Magic. We're going to select Keon Johnson out of Tennessee. So sorry, let me just pull my notes on him real quick. All right, so yeah, Keon Johnson is probably the best athlete in this draft right now. Just sole like raw athleticism. He's a great defensive stopper, and he's super explosive in transition, and he uses his size to finish at the rim. He can finish through contact and through traffic. And I want to put him with the Magic because, like I said, he's a great athlete, and the Magic could definitely use some pace. Just some explosiveness in their guards, because he's 6'5", so he plays shooting guard. He has a pretty good size for that position. And like I said, he's a great defensive stopper, so he's going to bring some much needed defense on the perimeter for the Magic, because we know that they have a decent paint defense with Mo Bamba, but it definitely would help to get some more perimeter defense from them. And yeah, I think he would just be a much needed addition to the guard rotation in Orlando right now, because they have good guards, but I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head. I know Cole Anthony and Finney Markelle Fultz, Finney Smith,
and then Michael. Not Michael Kicker.
Actually.
What's his name?
Yeah, I'm blanking on it. I can only have so many windows open on my computer. But
I know this guy. I know. Hold on, I did do the research on this. I can give it to you right now. You can keep talking. I'll find.
Yeah. So either way, whoever the guards are for Orlando, I think Keon Johnson is going to be a much needed addition in that rotation, and he's going to just bring a whole lot of things to them. He could develop more of a 3-point shot. And another issue is that an NBA defense might be able to stop him from getting to the rim as easily, and he might have to settle for some pull-up jump shots, which he definitely is going to have to. He's going to have to get a little bit better at that. But other than that, he's a solid defensive stopper and a good athlete. So yeah, with the number 8th pick, Orlando Magic are picking Keon Johnson.
Yep. All right. So with the number 9th pick, we have Sacramento. So with another 9th pick, the Sacramento Kings select. Hold on, let me pull it up. Where is he? Oh my God, I have to find him. Oh God, where is he? You selected James Bouknight. Wait, did you select James Bouknight yet?
Nope.
Okay, no. All right. Sorry, I'm also what I'm trying to do is highlight the people that got picked already. So you drafted Keon Johnson. So, all right. So who we're going to select at number 9? We're going to select Franz Wagner, a sophomore out of Michigan, 6'9". Age of 19. So it was a little bit of a toss-up because it was a little weird because I wanted to draft someone else. But, I mean, the reason why I drafted like a big man, because Sacramento needs depth and also big men in general, like a center. I know Rashad Holmes and Terrence Davis are going to be free agents this year and need serviceable like role players in the position. So I was debating whether to either draft Franz Wagner or I think that's how you say Alperian Seguin out of Turkey.
I don't know.
It's hard to say, but like there's an international player.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, but Franz Wagner, overall great skill set, great player, smart, great defender, and I think the Kings really do need a smart guy, a high IQ guy on the court, along with De'Aaron Fox, and I think he's a great forward to lead that backcourt or that front court. So the only negative I would have to say is that he's improve his 3-point shooting to be a good stretch 4, which is what they need because I think Marvin Bagley is not really the greatest stretch big there is. So I think Franz Wagner can bring that and I think we can have Bagley more at the 5 because he's 6'11". Bagley's 6'11", so he'll be able to play the 5. And I think with Franz Wagner stretching the floor at the 4 spot, I think that'll be really helpful and beneficial for the Kings. So yeah, Franz Wagner with going to Sacramento at number 9.
All right. Solid pick. Yeah, I had Franz Wagner somewhere on my draft board as well. All right. So with the 10th pick, we got New Orleans Pelicans are going to select Corey Kissbert out of Gonzaga. So Corey Kissbert is by far the best shooter in this draft. He shot 44% from the three at Gonzaga, 52% from the field, and helped. He was like 18 points on the season. Him and Jalen Suggs helped the Zags get to the final, the NCAA finals game. They ended up losing to Baylor, but great player. He's able to knock down shots in pretty much any possible way. In terms of the catch and shoot situation, he can pull up right off of a screen, give a little pump fake, reload, and then get a shot off. He gets it off with like insane quickness. He has a really quick release. And he's a pretty good ball handler, even though he's probably going to be mostly used as a shooter. He still has that, so he can develop into a better ball handler. And he also has a high defensive IQ. He's not the biggest. He is 6'7", 220 pounds, so he has good size, but he's not that quick on defense with his lateral motion. So some NBA guards, quicker guards, are definitely going to be able to get past him. But like I said, he's a good shooter, and he has high defensive IQ, so he's going to be able to make up for that on help defense, and he plays good team defense. And I want the Pelicans to pick him because the Pelicans have some pretty solid offense right now with Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Zion Williamson, except Brandon Ingram is typically a ball dominant player. He's going to break down his defender and get to his mid-range spot or his three spot. He can finish inside too, but the reason why I wanted Kissbert on the Pelicans is because Lonzo is a great facilitator. I know a lot of people, crap on Lonzo a lot, but he's a good facilitator, and he's going to be able to find Kissbert open on the three. And like I said, Kissbert is a good shooter. So whether or not, you're in college or the NBA, if you can hit the three, that's going to be a consistent, thing, hopefully throughout your entire career. And like I said, and Zion doesn't really operate too much outside of the paint. So he's not going to be taking the ball away from him too much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just think Kissbert is a great pick for, number 10, New Orleans Pelicans.
All right. So with the number 11 pick, Charlotte, this could go two ways for me personally, but I think in this mock draft, I'm going to take the guy who is an amazing steal who's still on this draft board. And why is he still on the draft board? I don't know, but the Charlotte Hornets are going to select James Bouknight out of UConn at number 11. So he fell way farther than I thought. All I'm going to say about him, he's an amazing scorer, 3-level scorer, unafraid of physicality. So he's a great, physical player. Defense is passable at best. And I think, honestly, Hornets aren't really looking too big in defense. I think they're trying to just get some amazing players and amazing scorers. Could improve his playmaking, but I think when I'm thinking about the Hornets, I think LaMelo is going to be carrying that team along with Devontae Graham. I think they're going to re-sign Devontae Graham. Mm-hmm. And my mentality of taking James Bouknight is they're going to not re-sign Malik Monk and take James Bouknight as a backup shooting guard. So that's what I'm thinking. Or they'll trade Terry Rozier and have James Bouknight play there as well. So I think that's what they're going to do, considering that if James Bouknight falls this far, I think they're definitely going to trade one of those guards and then replace him with James Bouknight. Amazing scorer, amazing physical player. And again, defense is still, pretty good for what he is. It's not amazing like some of these players in the draft. But again, James Bouknight fell this far. I had to take him with the number 11 pick to Charlotte.
Yeah, I completely agree with you in that I'm surprised that he fell this low into the draft. But, anything can happen.
Exactly.
So, all right. So with the 12th pick, San Antonio Spurs, I'm going to select Jaylen Johnson. Out of Kentucky, I believe. I'm kind of an idiot. I should have wrote down where they're from on this draft board, but
they're from. He's from Duke. Funny enough,
Duke. Yeah, I knew
he was from.
I knew.
Funny enough, I'll just say he's from Kentucky, but he transferred to Duke for 5 games, and then now he's still playing for the draft.
Yeah, I knew he was on some blue college team. But so Jaylen Johnson, he's 6'9", 220 pounds, which I also noticed a lot of these prospects are specifically 220 pounds.
It's very interesting, yes.
Well, yeah, I don't know why, but I noticed that. So he's 6'9", solid, good size. He has really high potential because of his size and frame. Exactly. And he's really good off-ball movement, which I think is a skill that a lot of people kind of let slip under the radar a little bit, especially if you have a good playmaker on your team, which the Spurs they kind of do in terms of who is it? Patty Mills is decent. I'm trying to think of the Spurs guards, but they're totally slipping my mind. DeMar DeRozan isn't really.
You forgot about DeJounte Murray.
Right, yeah. DeJounte Murray. So, yeah, he's solid playmaker. So he's going to be able to Jaylen Johnson's going to be able to get open off the cut for him. He's a good, crafty finisher around the rim. And he's a decent playmaker, but he's also a great closeout defender. So he's going to add a lot of good perimeter defense to this Spurs team. And yeah, he's a good scorer. So he's going to bring some good offense as well. And hopefully he can develop as a playmaker and maybe switch off with DeJounte Murray. So they're not going to have the offense have to run through one or two guys in DeMar DeRozan and DeJounte Murray.
All right. I'm honestly, I'm not making any comments after your picks, so I think they're solid picks. I'm just a couple reaches were interesting to me, but it also allows me as a GM of the people in the lower drafts to draft some guys higher on my draft board personally. So we're moving on to the 13th pick. Indiana Pacers are going to be selecting Joshua Giddey out of Australia. So this guy also fell really far. And the main reason I'm saying this is because Indiana needs a small forward or center, probably needs some depth behind TJ Warren if he's back or if he's still injured, whatever. They have plenty of guards. I think they're drafting for depth/development. So I think Joshua Giddey is a great person to draft here. Again, he has experience in internationally, so he should be already NBA ready. And also he's 18, so he has an extra year to develop in the NBA. But again, I'm going to have quick notes about him. Great passing skills. Led the NBL in assists, and I think it's great to have another passer along with what's his name, Malcolm Brogdon, because you have two big scorers and the forwards and TJ McConnell, two big scorers in the low post of Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. And I think having a guy who's great at passing, but also still a high IQ, decent scorer. So he still needs to develop a solid jumper, but he's still able to make shots when he needs to. So I think he's overall a good guy, great guy to draft for the Indiana Pacers. And not to mention he fell pretty far in my draft board. So yeah, Indiana Pacers are selecting Joshua Giddey out of Australia.
Yeah, solid pick. He was going to be my next pick if he slipped again. So yeah, I think we do have some pretty similar picks. But yeah, so for my final pick, number 14, Golden State Warriors, I'm going to actually select Isaiah Jackson out of Kentucky. So Isaiah Jackson, he's pretty athletic. He's a big man. He's pretty athletic. He's 6'10", 205 pounds. And the reason why I'm going to select him for Golden State, I know that they have James Wiseman, but James Wiseman did get injured, didn't really play a whole lot. So, and also Golden State has kind of been looking to move him, it seems like. At least I've seen some rumors about him being moved in some trades for other bigger players or whatever they're going to try to do. But yeah, so I think that he would definitely be a solid addition. He's similar-ish to Claxton in that he's pretty agile. He's a big man with some good movement skills, and he's a good rim protector. And I think that Golden State definitely could use a traditional rim protector. They have Draymond Green to pretty much run the whole defense on the defensive end, but yeah, they do lack a big size in that position for someone just like a raw shot blocker like that. So I think if you stick him in the paint, their defense is going to excel. He's got a 7'5" wingspan. That's huge. So he's going to be able to block shots from these guards in the NBA. Even, if they're crafty and they get around him, he's got the length to do it. He has good defensive IQ, good help defender, switches on the screens. So I think this guy, I'm selecting him mostly for his defense, but also it's just going to be helpful to have another big man on both ends of the floor for Golden State.
Not even on my draft board, but nice pick. I've heard good things about Isaiah Jackson. So good pick by the Warriors. And not to mention, I just drafted a small forward. So it'd be smart if you didn't draft a small forward as well, after I drafted that. So Yeah,
I think we're pretty much running out of forwards, I think.
Yeah, I know.
In terms of the lottery picks.
Exactly. So with the number 15th pick in the NBA draft, the Washington Wizards, first thing I'm going to say they need everything. So there's no real need, specific needs.
Yeah, you can pick anybody.
So I said they got to draft best player available. And I think one guy who's really going to be helpful for them and also who's already experienced on the international stage is Esperin Segun. I think Segun is how you say his name. He's out of Turkey. He's 18, 6'9", 240. He's a small forward /forward/center. I mean, he's probably going to play more power forward and small forward in the NBA. But the main reason I wanted to select him, he's best available. Second of all, low post centric scorer, active rebounder, passing, shooting skill, shooting upside. So that means he can potentially develop a 3-point shot or even just stretching abilities for a big man, which means he'll be able to stretch the floor along with Thomas Bryant if Thomas Bryant is coming back to the Wizards. and might be a liability center, but that's why I drafted him, because Thomas Bryant is there at the center position. So that's good for him. And not to mention, I just had to draft somebody best available. I was thinking about, it was either going to be him, Esperin, or it was going to be Moses Moody. Didn't matter either way, because I'm pretty sure that the Wizards are going to be having a big offseason this year, trading a bunch of people. So it's just draft best available and move on. I think that's a good pick for them.
Yeah, definitely for the Wizards. And yeah, you said it perfectly. They need all the help that they can get.
And having that international experience is always helpful. They're already ready, NBA ready.
Yeah, and they especially need that size at the 5 or the 4 spot, especially with, I don't know if Bertans is able to come back next season. I know he's still injured, isn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen with him. So yeah, good pick.
All right. So that concludes our draft. We only did the lottery pick just because it would take us forever to do the whole draft 1 through 60, and I don't have enough research.
And
to do 1 through 60.
That would take months of solid research for us to do.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, but no, I'm not like I don't want to do that. It's just because it's a lot easier to do the lottery pick, and also mention I think at the point when we get to 32, who am I supposed to draft? I'm gonna just reaching for straws at that rate.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be that great.
And also a lot of the times the guys that get selected past the lottery are not going to jump out at you. No, you know, a lot of those guys that are steals in the draft developed and then they became really good. Nikola
Jokic. Yeah.
Jokic being a 2nd round pick, or, Fred VanVleet going undrafted, guys like that, they develop with their team and then they get to that level. But it's going to be kind of hard to select a guy at, the 45th pick and be this guy's going to be a generational talent. That doesn't really happen like that.
But again, I think 1 through 15, we're drafting mainly guys who are almost NBA ready or maybe need a year to develop, and they're going to be really solid players. We hope so, maybe barring injury, barring some sort of development issue. So I think all these guys are going to be great. This is a really deep draft, and I had a lot of fun doing this because there's still a lot of guys on my draft board, like a Kai Jones, like a Usman Garuba, Moses Moody, Jared Butler, that we weren't able to draft.
Yeah, there was a ton of guys that we missed.
Exactly. And I think this draft will be good even 1 through 25, I'd say. We'll have notable names that they'll be able to develop or play immediately. Absolutely. So that concludes the 2021 Sports Bits mock draft.
That's right. For the first time ever. And I think I'm happy with my picks. And I don't know about you, but I'm happy with my picks. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it went it went pretty much as expected for me. I didn't have to do too much on the fly, oh crap, he picked that guy. What am I going to do? I think you definitely had, I think there was 1 or 2 picks where I was oh, okay. It wasn't even a surprise, but I was I was expecting you to pick someone else. And then I planned for that. So then, I had to change it around a little bit, but for the most part, I was pretty happy with it. And I think pretty much most of these guys, like you said, they might need a year to develop, but most of them are coming and it's going to be, 20, 15 games into the season. And I think most of these guys have the potential to become starters.
Yep. So that, and again, concluding the 2021 Sports with Mock Draft, we'll see y'all. I think our plan for this week is going to be, we're going to react to the actual draft and see how who actually gets drafted and what. And I think next week we'll actually have a full episode with all the news that's happening. I don't think there's been happening too much in the NBA except for trade rumors.
So, a lot of rumors. There's nothing is confirmed.
Nothing is confirmed yet. So we'll have a full episode next week, and we're gonna react to the draft this week. So we'll see y'all on probably Thursday. We'll watch the draft, and then we'll give our honest, our post game reactions, our post draft reactions.
Yeah, that's right. After post draft reactions,
and I think we might even compare our picks to their picks and see what we got right, what we got wrong.
Oh, yeah, I think we definitely should.
Absolutely, we can definitely make it a full episode. So till Thursday on the actual NBA draft. We'll see y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir.